update. I feel like that means I've completely forgotten about this project. Is this actually the third update? Man. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm bringing you the third update for my Pan Those Eyeshadows project Pan. Just a reminder that this project was created by Alexy, who I'll have a link down below, as well as those who originally inspired me to take this project on. And I am pleased to announce that we are actually going to be rolling in some shadows this update. Finally, after nearly 6 months of working on the same shadows, we are actually going to be rolling one in. And by one, I mean 2. So let's get started going through my shadows, and we'll start off with the ones I've got the least amount of use on. We're starting with the L'Oreal palette, and if you remember correctly, let me just get something to cover up this mirror. We have been working on this brown shade just here, and since the last update, very disappointing, but I've only used this one time. So I'm definitely not going to be hitting pan anytime soon or reaching my 30 uses. So I really do need to start focusing on this palette, but I just find this shade to be really boring. Let me give you a quick swatch so you can understand what I'm talking about. It's just kind of boring. Maybe I could try putting it into my... Do you think it would suit my brows? Maybe I could try that. I've never actually used a shadow from an eyeshadow palette, or any shadow actually, in my brows. So maybe I'll give that a go, because that is quite dark. So we'll try that. That is my goal for next update, to trial using the brown from the L'Oreal palette in my brows. Moving on to the next palette, and we have the Alexy Stone palette. If you remember, we have been working on this pink, just here, and I've only used it an additional 5 times since the last update. So overall, it's not that exciting compared to last update, and to be honest, I think that my brain is not in it today. That's a swatch of it just there, and I'll be honest, I think that you won't even be able to tell when I do manage to reach my 30 uses, because this looks like it's hardly been touched at all. And I'm finding that majority of these shades really take quite a lot of use to even get a dent in them. Next up, we have the Revolution Beautiful Darkness, and I am pleased to announce that I've hit pan on the gold shade we have been working on. I will stick a picture up here, a close-up of the pan, so you can get a better look. But I used this an additional 7 times before hitting pan this month. I'm happy to be rolling this out of this project, though I really did enjoy using it. Next up, we have the Revolution Ultimate Brights palette. And we have been working on this teal shade just in here. You can see there is a bit of a dip forming, which is rather exciting. And I have used this shadow 9 times since the last update. I am hoping to hit pan on this next update, but I'm not really sure how well we're going to go. And that means, because I said we had hit 2 pans, that I have hit pan on my NYX Sugar Trip Squad palette in the pink just here. I will put up a close-up up here so you can get a better view, but I have hit pan on this as well. I did use this an additional 9 times this month, and I'm pleased that I'm also rolling this one out. And I've just realized I forgot to do some swatches. Okay, so here is a swatch of the 2 shades that we'll be rolling out. This is the Sugar Trip palette, the pink, and this is Corrupted from the Beautiful Darkness palette. And here is also a swatch of the teal from the Revolution Ultimate Bright palette. So let us have a quick look to see what will be rolling in. Like I've said many times before, I film on my phone, so I pre-record my screen doing the randomizing. So I'll put the Pretty Randomizer app up here when I'm rolling it in, and I'll be honest, I can't remember the exact numbers that rolled, so you will see the first number come up now. And that corresponds with my MCO Beauty Just Peachy palette. You will most likely recognize this palette from the Dude You Pan, my Battleship project pan that I did with Jalon last year. And I will stick up in the cards the finale video that I had for that. But I was surprised that out of the 3 shadows that in here don't have a pan, it was rolled for this project. And I'm also disappointed to say that it corresponds with this brown shade just here. Let me give you a swatch. It is a bit of a shimmery brown. I don't mind it, it's a nice color, but it is quite similar to the shadow we already have in this project, which is a bit of a disappointment because I didn't particularly want to be getting another brown. But that's okay, we will be working on that shadow as well. Now back to my Pretty Randomizing app. And I feel like today has just not been my day with the randomizing, because the next shadow is actually from our L'Oreal palette that we are already working on. But there are actually some nice, interesting and bright shades in this palette, so I wasn't too worried until I actually figured out which shadow it corresponded to. And unfortunately, we are going to be working on this purple. It doesn't look too bad looking at it there, but when I actually give it a swatch, yes, it is a very dark, maybe brown purple. So unfortunately, as you can see, the shadows that we're now going to be working on are very deep, dark and uninspiring. And I am a little bit disappointed, but that's okay. This is the look we are going to be working on. I'll give you a bit of a close-up now of that color story. And though I am a little disappointed, it is not the worst color story ever. So my goal for the next month is to hopefully either hit the 30 uses or hit pan on one of these 2 shadows. If I can manage to do it on both shadows, I'll be ecstatic, because then I can roll in another 2 shadows. And hopefully we can bring something in a little bit out of the box. So I'm Verity. That was the 3rd update for my Pan Those Eyeshadows project pan. And now to the outro.